The U.S. is extremely close to a vaccine approval, with a panel of government advisors voting that the benefits of the COVID-19 vaccine outweigh the risks. We're all wondering when the official approval is coming. Joining us now to discuss is Bloomberg News' health editor, John Lauerman, live from Boston. John, emergency use authorization for the Pfizer shot feels so close. Why haven't we seen it yet? What's the holdup here?
Hi, yeah, good to be with you. So this is the emergency use authorization that the FDA is talking about. An approval would be down the line, say, after some more data is collected. And right now, I think what the FDA may be looking at are a few things that are going on with the vaccine. When the FDA advisors met yesterday to discuss the vaccine, obviously the efficacy looks really good. There are still, I think, some questions about safety that maybe need to be resolved. One of them is this issue of allergic reactions called anaphylaxis that have been seen very rare in the UK. And the FDA, I think, is still kind of sorting through that and thinking about how are they going to label this vaccine so that it poses the least danger to people who have allergies, severe allergies that might be, say, very, difficult or life-threatening to deal with. So that's one of the issues. That's probably the main issue. And then another thing that they appear to be looking at is whether the vaccine should be authorized in people 16 to 17 years old. It sounds like it wasn't really, they don't have all the data that they would like to see from 16 and 17-year-olds in there.
Well, let's go to that allergy information, because earlier this week we spoke with Amish Adalja, doctor at Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins University. And he talked about the idea that the people who would have allergic reactions, at least those 2 cases that we saw in the UK earlier this week, were really, at least in the early data that we saw, people who would be carrying around EpiPens, the people who would have these allergic reactions to sort of other everyday items as well. Is that what we're still learning? Is that what the FDA is still considering?
It's hard to say exactly what they're thinking about right now, but they are looking at those cases. They're wondering, okay, so how do we label the cautions and restrictions on the use of this vaccine? I think because they don't know exactly, why these allergies occurred and how cautious we really need to be about the use of vaccine. Obviously, there are many people, millions, perhaps billions of people in the world who have allergies of one type or another, right? There are maybe, I think somebody said a figure of something like 10 million people in the U.S. who carry EpiPens.
Wow.
If none of those people are allowed to get the vaccine, that might present some problems, perhaps problems that we don't need to raise up. And then there's also the question of do you try to find out whether there are ingredients in the vaccine that certain people might be allergic to? And somebody on the FDA call said, well, this is maybe the longest ingredient list on a vaccine that I've ever seen.
Huh.
So they may still be thinking about these issues, yeah.
So, John, we've been focusing so much on the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, but where does the timeline stand with the other vaccines that we're watching closely, Moderna and others too?
So the Moderna vaccine is looking very good for its FDA advisory panel meeting that will be next week, I think Wednesday, on the 12th anyway. So that, sorry, not the 12th, but anyway, next week. And so that's no new issues being heard of. Of course, that vaccine has not been rolled out in other countries in mass vaccinations the same way that the Pfizer vaccine has. And then the Astra vaccine, it's still not exactly clear what exactly is going to happen with the Pfizer vaccine, particularly in the U.S. anyway, because it looks like there's going to be another study of it that could put the data accumulation that would be necessary for review of that vaccine well into next year.
All right. Well, there you have it. We're going to have to wait quite a bit of time, I think, to get this vaccine ourselves. Bloomberg News' health editor, John Lauerman, live from Boston. John, thanks as always for your time this afternoon. We appreciate you joining.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.